name is Tülinet Yemez Şimberk.
And I'm Jennifer Gökmen.
And we are here now today again to share the information from the Divine Order and Universe, which was compiled by Dr. Bedri Ruhserman in 1959. And the book was channeled and it was kept in the safe for long years, and it was opened in 2013. And now we discuss many items from the books, and this today our topic is about brain cells, beings, and how we establish our feelings, emotions, and what we experience in our body, or how we create our reality. And we will talk about a little bit from the daily informations, and we will also give you some information from the book.
Now, one of the reasons why we're making this series of videos is to make the information in this book more accessible. Because sometimes, because of the terminology or the depth of the ideas, it may be difficult to initially get into the book. For instance, what's being discussed today about brain cell beings, that term is not familiar to us because we don't use that today, but actually modern neuroscientists have been discussing a lot of these similar ideas, talking about how a person's predispositions are already germinated in the womb, and some conditions such as perhaps Alzheimer's or some type of psychological conditions, or even sexual orientation, or these sort of things are already predetermined before a person is actually born. But this research does not actually discuss what the triggers are. How does that actually happen? Where does that come from? And that's actually one of the things that is discussed in Divine Order in the Universe, and gives a perspective about the mechanics of how it happens, why it happens, and the nature of this, of how brain cell beings actually coordinate the different things that happen to an individual.
Maybe in this point we have to remember the consciousness model which was brought in the book. At our previous sections we talk about that consciousness model in details, but for remembering, we have a daily consciousness, so whatever we receive with our five senses actually observes our daily consciousness by our brain, and it goes to the unconsciousness. So whatever we receive since we were a cell in our mother's womb, we started to record everything at the unconsciousness. On the other hand, our beings, or a total being has more parts, not only the consciousness and unconsciousness. The free part or beings is called as super consciousness, and super consciousness is divided into two. One part is subconsciousness, which carries the all past life information, and another part is the higher consciousness, which is the open part. Then we get all the influences from the other beings, from other spiritual realms. So as a being, we have one part is free, but 7 of the 8 is actually incarnated to the body. Maybe we need to look at to book in this section how this connection happens with the physical body and with the or free part of the higher consciousness. So actually, until now, all the science, all the neurology describes, as Jennifer said, what happens in the mother's womb actually defines what you are going to live. But what is the triggering point? What is the initiating thing? So the book says millions brain cells we have, but also millions and millions brain cells beings exist beside, which is actually gives influences to the magnetic field of the brain cells. So this brain cell beings actually carries the information from our past lives as well. So this information goes to the all superconsciousness and stored in the subconsciousness in the past lives, and which was evaluated with the different lives, and they all stored in the brain cells beings, and they keep this complexity together, and they never split until to a certain point.
If you think about it in terminology that perhaps we're more familiar with, according to science, the conservation of energy law, energy does not diminish or cease to exist. It just transmutes into different forms. If we consider the application to this particular instance, in which brain cell beings stay together and are transferred with your being's next incarnation, we can consider that perhaps to be the law of the conservation of energy, that the energy that is specifically imprinted to us follows us from one incarnation to another.
So it also explains what happens after we die, because when we die, the brain dies, but the information doesn't disappear. So information which was stored in the brain cell beings actually carries going on with that complex form. So when we again ready to born again, when we are supply the first connection in the mother's womb, actually this brain cell beings affects the magnetic fields, and it creates the many formations and etc. And it also explains us how we carry the other past life information. When we look at the genetics says 7 generations of our ancestors are carried in our DNA, the information. So, and not only our eye color or physical illnesses we carry from our ancestors, but also psychogenetics, how it explains how the emotions, feelings, and thoughts are affecting the DNA. So we are not only carrying the genetic aspects or physical aspects of our ancestors, we are also carrying their unfinished businesses, unfinished emotions, and unfinished feelings and thoughts. So from one side, it can explain how we carry the information from the past, but Divine Order and the universe also brought another wider perspective, saying that this brain cell beings carries on their togetherness until a certain point, and whenever one of the cells are ready to coordinate a human body, when their informations and level is satisfactory enough, then also these brain cell beings are separated from that complex form, and they have experience at the other realities out of this earth, and then they born again to this life, and they take a form of plant or animal or human. So there is a kind of evolution coming by that way.
It might help to think of, if you look at all of the organisms that make up this entire existence, from the most molecular, smallest micro level to the most macro, what you've got in different situations are systems of organisms that are working towards a certain function, whether that's on a microbiological level or plant level, animal level, chemical level, person level. And all of these systems, all these organisms in all of these systems are performing their function, but they're also on a path towards evolution, and they're evolving to the next level and the next level and the next level. Just as human beings, we're trying to evolve to our next level as well. The one step before human being is brain cell being the most evolved of all the types of organisms before actual incarnation into a physical form.
And nowadays, neurology, genetics, and quantum physics, they have many discoveries. And however, it was all said and it was all mentioned 57 years ago with this spiritual study. So we have so much to discover, but also we have so much to learn also from the past, from the previous informations. So each time with different episodes, we will try to explain you and share with you some of the terms and some of the ideas from the book. We hope it helps you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.